Hi everybody, welcome back. We're back here now at the layout for Modeller's Corner. Last week we done the platforms, so this week we're going to fix the platforms in place, do a little bit of ballasting and fix some buildings in place. So let's get cracking on that. Let's get started. First off, I've taken a bit of masking tape and just put it around the edge there to stop any ballast spilling over the edge. I've got my platform positioned. Before you do anything, just check that it is in the right position, so run your loco up, make sure there's enough clearance, it's not going to be hitting off it, because once this is glued in it's going to be very difficult to remove it and reposition it, so just make sure that's correct. So I have my ballast here. This is just fine aquarium gravel. You can get this from most pet stores. I got this bag from Pets at Home. It's a UK pet store. You'll find them everywhere. The other thing is if you've got any holes or anything on here where it could leak through, just put a little bit of masking tape or something over it just to block the hole off. Likewise, if you've got a gap at the back, a little bit of blue tack or something just to seal it up so you're not losing all your ballast down through the back, and also when you apply the glue that it doesn't start dripping and leaking everywhere. So all I'm going to do is just apply some of this ballast and then get a paintbrush, just sweep it around and just take your time doing this, and then you can just put a spoon for where you need it. And you'll see around the edge of the platform. Just take your time. And you can get various little paintbrushes just to get it where you want it. And just take your time and just do this. So I'm going to carry on and do this. And when I've got it done, I'll come back and show you. There we go, there's the ballast over the area I wanted. Once the ballast is done, I'm going to put a few more buildings and shrubs and everything in here, break that up. Get it all nice and smoothed out. You use a brush if you want to get it all leveled. A couple of taps to the side of the baseboard, tapping the rails, sends vibrations through and helps it level out. So now we want to glue it in place. Now you notice we've got a Metcalf signal box here. That's obviously paper, so we're going to be very careful that not get that too wet, because it'll end up staining and it won't look right. Normally I would take this off, but I've got lights wired into it through it, so I can't really take it off for the moment. So I've got some what they call wet water here. This is just water with a little bit of rinse aid in it, help break up the surface tension, and we're just going to give this area a good soaking. Again, being careful around the signal box. So we'll give that a minute or so just to seep in, make it all nice and wet. Meanwhile, I have my glue mixture, so I've got a 500ml bottle here. I've got in there half of white PVA glue and half of water and a little drop of washing up liquid rinse aid again to help break up the surface tension. And I've got one of these plastic sauce bottles I like to use, which I think is a lot handier. You see a lot of people using pipettes and things like that. This get a larger area done a lot quicker. So I use the bottle for mixing it up, pour it in there. Now we can just go along and gently squirt some glue in. Just take your time with this. Because you've wetted the surface, the glue will seep down through it. can see there how it's all seeping in. Oops. Now this will, depending on your ambient conditions, this could take 24 hours, 48 hours to dry. So try and remember where you put the ballast and put the glue. And again, careful around the signal box because I don't want to get it too wet. I don't want staining to go up it. And if you're doing any around the track, just be careful that you don't glue any points. I'm going to do that bit around the platform, because this is what will hold the platform in place. There we go. So it's a matter of leaving that to dry now for 24 hours, 48 hours. Come back and have a look at it, and then do any patching up that needs, any bit that hasn't stuck or has come away. So that's it. We'll come back and have a look at it tomorrow. It's been a few days now. This has all gone nice and hard. It's all rock solid. I've made sure all the rails are clear. There's no ballast there that's going to cause any derailments or anything like that. So now what we need to do is just add a little bit of weathering to this, just to take sort of the new shiny look off it, just dull it down a bit. So we're going to pull out the old airbrush. In here I've got some Rail Match sleeper grime. It's a 50-50 mix with some thinners. So we'll get started that now. You might hear the noise of the compressor kicking in now and again. Hopefully it won't be too annoying. But this is a Green Stuff World 0.2mm diameter airbrush. They're quite good, these airbrushes. They're not overly expensive. I think they're about between 30 and 40 pounds. They work very well. Now when I first started doing airbrushing, I started off with a little airbrush. It wasn't a great airbrush, but then I wasn't very good at airbrushing when I first started. Some would argue I'm still not, but it's the sort of thing, a bit of practice makes perfect. So when you set it up, get yourself a sheet of paper and just make sure it's working how you want it. Also, the closer in you get, the thinner the line, further out, more it spreads. And also, it's good to have a bit of paper here when you're working on back bit like that, so you don't get the backdrop weathered. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, from a distance, just give a slight coating. Not too much. It just basically dulls it down, takes the shiny new look of it. Now to weather the track, I'm going to go in a bit closer, so it makes it a little bit more concentrated, and just run down the center of the tracks. Up and down a bit, not too much. And then along the outside of the track as well. Now you can hear the compressor kicking in. So we're just going to go down onto the track. Just dulls it down, takes that shiny sort of plastic look off it. Now you are going to have to clean the rails after this. And there now we have the track weathered. A little bit more dirt around the station, so we'll go a little bit heavier around the station. So it's a little bit heavier around the platform now, a little bit darker, keeping it a bit lighter on the rails the further we go from the station. So we're just doing a light pass. And then we'll do a little bit around the signal box there. And you can see that sort of toned it down now. I'm not sure the camera's picking that up. but you can see you got some heavier spots around there. And as well, this is all going to be broken up with foliage and weeds and that sort of thing as well as we go on. So it'll start bringing the whole picture together. So there's a brief bit of weathering on the track, and I'm going to carry on and do the rest, and then I'll show you when I'm done. There we go. There's the weathering complete for now. And you can see how it's a little bit heavier in the platform area, and then it gets lighter as you come out of the station onto the main line section. And you can see how spraying it around the base of the signal box there, you get a bit of overspray as well, which helps weather the building. And we've got the same down now at the other end. A little bit more weathering in on the side of the platform, and it just adds to the overall effect. Now, next video, we will be doing the scenic area here. So there's going to be lots of static grassing, making trees, doing tufts, putting a little bit more scenic material around here to break all this up and blend it all in. So that'll be the next video. And then that should be more or less this layout complete. It'll just be the finishing touches, platform furniture, people, animals, that sort of thing. And that should be the layout done. And I can get this out of here and over to Modeller's Corner. So there we go, that's it for this video. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button for me, give me the old thumbs up. Any questions or comments, put them down below. Big thank you to my channel members and patrons, whose names will be scrolling here. And I'll pop another video here, subscribe button in the middle. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.